Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're switching gears. We're leaving the mechanical world and we're going to get back onto a little bit of carpentry. I just came up the road with a load of lumber here that I'm going to have to unload. So I'll just do a little walk around and see what we got going on. Look at that Luna there investigating the tires, because the place I was at had a couple of dogs and they obviously left their little markers on the tires. But anyway, this is the old 68 GMC. Good old truck. I've had it for a few years. Just a two-wheel drive, 1-ton dually. It's got new tires on the front. That's the only good thing about it. And just this morning when I was warming things up, both these windshield wipers left the chat. I did get a new pair when I was in town for other parts there this morning, but of course I got the wrong one, so I had to make the trip with no windshield wipers. Not that that's a big deal. There was no mist on the road anyway, so we made her over to the sawmill and back. No issues. The rest of the truck, well, brakes are poor. Tires are bald, but it does have a nice deck on it. And on the deck, I do have the lumber. It's all rough cut, 2x6 and 2x4s up to 20 feet long. So it's going to be a pretty big project going on. It's going to take a little bit to get it unloaded, one piece at a time. But anyway, the 1-ton did good with the bald tires. Went down to Burton for the sawmill, and coming up the grade there, it's, I don't know, it's a 7% at least, or 8, but we come on up the darn road there with no problem. Going through this here snow, it's about 3-4 inches deep, but it's snowman snow. Coming around the far side of the house here, this little project, I started it sometime a year ago or so, called the Big Build. It's kind of like on a standstill there for the last while, but it's my carport, and you can see up above there is a flat roof. It's just got a single sheet of plywood up there, so there's no actual trusses or anything up there to shed the snow and the rain, so time to get after that before this thing just goes to rot. Gonna have to clean these stairs off, and what's on here is just some very heavy damp snow. And if there's anything I've learned is you got to get that off before you start walking on it. You just make a deeper slippery hazard. So we're just going to get this staircase swept off, and then we'll go up top here. There's the neighbor, first year. He's staying at his property up here, and he's got his brand new little Mahindra, and he's plowing his driveway. First time he's had to plow his driveway. That's kind of neat. Okay, that's the whole floor up here is all cleaned off. It's about 16 wide this way, and I think 26 or 8 going the other way. I'm going to have to get a tape measure back and refresh my memory. But the idea is we're going to cut our truckload of lumber there in a fashion that we'll be able to build 5 trusses to get laid up here, 512 slope, and yeah, have something to shed the water off the floor here, so we're not spending any time next year underneath the roof here having a picnic and having the rain come down and dripping in our salad. So let's go unload that truck. Okay, this is just the next morning, and if you look back on the previous frame there, this was pretty much melted off. This is, you know, wintertime in the coots. It snows and then it warms right up and then it just kind of thaws out, makes a more dripping mess. But quite a bit more has gone on since yesterday. I managed to get my basic outline of the truss formed, and I got part of a jig started here, this darker board here laying with the new lumber. I've confirmed that this is 28 feet edge to edge of the platform here, and I've got what are the 18-foot sections along each side to make the top of the truss, and I'm going to nail down some jigs on the board to hold that, because I got 4 more of these trusses to build. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to get our upright in the center here, angle brace, vertical brace, and that should be that side, vertical brace on this side, plus there's going to be 1 extra stubby brace in there. But yeah, it's coming along. And by the way, this is a 512 pitch we're working with. So far it's working out pretty good. So we're going to continue building, cutting and building some pieces here and nailing them down. So we'll bring you back in a little bit. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm guessing it's quitting time. All day to get 1 truss sort of lined up. It's not nailed together, it's just kind of mocked up. And I do have a couple of nailing plates in position, one over that end and one over in that end. I got to cut a whole bunch more of those plates where the joints of the supports come into play there, but I think she's working out all right. We'll finish this one up tomorrow and hopefully get another one done. Well, finally coming around with the last plates to put on this truss, the very first truss that I'm building. It's a slow process working by oneself. But when you get a system, it seems to go along not bad. All I can say is thank goodness it's pretty nice weather. Now on this is the very first truss that I'm putting down, and I'm just going to use it as a pattern. I'm going to lay the other 4 on top as I build them. Now I'm just running a couple nails in just to tag onto that plate, so when I pick it up, the nails, they just See, they're about that much longer. Just enough to go into the full depth of the plywood underneath. Okay, I think that's enough nails. Okay, now we'll show you around, see what we've been up to all morning. Okay, that's all the nailing I have to do on this particular truss until I get to turn it over. It's the first built, but it's going to be the last stood up. And when I turn it over, I'll nail the other, all these plates together from the other side, because right now they're just kind of hanging on. But meanwhile, I'm going to lift this truss up and move it up onto the some lumber there to isolate it from the ice and water that's laying on this deck up here, mainly because it's mild now, but by the time this gets stood up, it's probably going to be 5 below zero or something, so it'll be a little tricky getting it off the darn frozen deck. Look at Luna, I don't know what she's looking at, but she's pretty intense on it anyway. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and pick this truss up and just raise it up off the deck, plywood thickness, so as it just doesn't get froze down. There we go. Now it's time to start laying out. I do have quite a bit of other pieces already pre-cut, and I've got that much again to pre-cut the braces or the spars, whatever you call it in truss world technology. But and a bunch of plates are cut out there. I got more plywood, and I'm gonna have to go to town tomorrow and get more plywood. I kind of underestimated that. I only got a couple of sheets, but I'm making sure my my plates are big and adequate. Don't want to be going cheap on the lumber. Well, there's two of them. Okay, I'm just going to take one of these starter pieces and lay it out on top of the original. Okay, we'll get the next one laid out. Okay, that's the first two bottom pieces. I already pre-cut them. They only had one cut on that either tip, cut out at a 5/12 slope, like an angle on the ends. So now we'll go down to the saw shed and bring up some more of these pieces. All right, well, I think that's going to be a wrap for today. I'm going to get back at it again tomorrow. Got to load up, what is it, 8 of these top parts of the truss, 18 feet long. And I think I'm going to source out a new blade for my electrical corded saw. It's got a burnt out blade on it. I don't think I showed the butchery I did on one of these braces here, but yeah, it just burnt it off basically. So I got to get a new blade for that corded saw, and then I'm just going to, with the forklift, bring all those big timbers around over here and lift them up the same as what we just did. All right, well, we'll see you in the morning. Well, here's the progress for the morning. I managed to get that all the plates nailed up to that number 2 truss, and figured I better try it out and see how hard it's going to be to put it up in place, and apparently it's not hard at all. But then it started to snow, and then yeah, I figure I'm done for the day. In the summer these are beer clouds, but in the wintertime these are rum clouds. I have to go to town and get some nails, some dog food, cat food, and probably a bit of rum. All right, we'll try her again in the morning, if it stops snowing. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm in the saw shed down here where I cut all my lumber, and it's not snowing anymore. It's raining this morning. So again, I'm not going to be up on the deck up there trying to work with those trusses. I just don't like to be working in the drizzle rain. So I do need to do something that's going to help me out, is build a couple sawhorses so I can set up on the floor up there and put all my cut timbers on. So I thought I would just knock these things together. They're pretty easy to make, and I'm just going to put them together and show you how I make this work. It's pretty easy, actually. I got basically 2 kits. One's outside in the rain over there, you can't see it, but this kit here is going to make one sawhorse. I'm making them 48 inches wide, which is a sheet of plywood. Seems to be a good measurement. But anyway, I start out with the first, well, now they're stuck together. First piece is this here spine. And then I'm going to put another piece up on top, and that's going to make my backbone. I'm going to screw it together. These are used screws I'm using, so this is guaranteed going to be the last time you need to use these screws. The square, because I don't want anything in the working length of it there, like to run into, you know, how many sawhorses have you seen that's always got cut marks, you know, all the way across, you know, so on and so forth. So I don't want any screws in there just to blunt any more blades. I already did that with the fork of the Clark the other day. And I got these scraps that I've salvaged, and like every project that I ever do, right off the hop I get scraps. That's because I measure once and go ahead and cut. I've since then started to measure twice. But anyway, let's continue. Looks centered. Okay, that's the main part of the working area of a sawhorse. And then the reason for all that is when go ahead and put the legs in, I just put them in like that, 4 corners, and it makes for a pretty nice sawhorse. Well, that's those two. Now we'll just try to work on the opposite direction. Well, it's a good thing that that garden tractor is there, the old John Deere. Okay, now if we can just get it out of here without knocking you over, we'll see what it looks like out on the ground. Well, there might be an engineering problem here. That is one high sawhorse. So what I'm going to do is, these are 48s, so I'm just going to throw a measure down and cut them down to 36, and that will be just about right. Be more scraps available. Okay, we'll just get right after that, and in fact, on my next one, I'll cut it down to 36, and then we'll go with that. While that battery was charging, I did take it upon myself to cut those other 4 legs down to 36 inches as well with another corded saw. It's got the 20-volt packages on it. Just turn around quick, don't get dizzy or anything. Okay, there's the two saws. They're 36 inches high, which is taller than normally what you see, but I just don't want to be bending over anymore than I have to in my later years. So I'm going to see if these actually do stack up on themselves. Look at that. Engineering at its finest. Okay, we'll haul it up to the top of the deck there, and then I'll put all my cross members, etc., up on it, so when it does snow heavy, it's going to be up off the deck and hopefully not froze down. All right, we'll go get these hauled over there. See that Luna dog up there? Just loves to watch me struggle moving back and forth, hauling this stuff back and forth. But oh well. She's in retirement age too. Well, there we go. I got my saw horses. These are up waist high. A little bit easier, you know, to gather these sections up as I build more trusses. I got 3 more to build, and a lot of nailing going on. Maybe we can address the hair situation there. But anyway, it's still drizzling. I don't think the camera can pick it up, but it's moisture coming down, and I'm certainly not going to work in here when it's still snowing. I'm going to have to get up here and scrape the deck off again with the shovel. But we're going to end the video here, and we'll pick it up again when it's nicer weather, whenever that happens. But anyway, thanks for following along. Come on, say persist.